Hello everyone. Welcome to English Meow. Today, I will teach you how to train your brain and mouth to speak in English, which will help you get more accustomed to and understand the English environment in real life. Learning English is not only about reading and writing. Speaking English is very important because it helps us communicate with people from different countries. Many people feel nervous when they try to speak English. They worry about making mistakes, or they think they are too slow. But speaking English can become easier if we train our brain and mouth every day. Training your brain and mouth means practicing thinking in English and using your mouth to make words naturally. The first step to train your brain is to start thinking in English. When you wake up in the morning, try to name things around you in English. For example, if you see a chair, you can say chair in your mind. If you see a cup, you can say cup. This small exercise helps your brain connect English words with real objects. After some time, you will start thinking in English more naturally. Thinking in English also helps you remember words faster. You do not need to translate from your native language every time. Your brain will learn to see English as a normal way to think. Next, listening is very important for training your brain. Listening to English every day can help you understand how people speak. You can listen to English songs, watch simple English videos, or listen to short stories. At first, you may not understand everything, but your brain is learning. Try to listen carefully to the sounds and words. Repeat some words in your mind. Listening also helps your brain remember the correct pronunciation of words. Even if you cannot speak well at first, listening will prepare your brain to understand and use English later. After training your brain, you should train your mouth. Speaking English needs your mouth to move in a new way. Many people have learned English for years, but cannot speak well. This is because they only read and write, but do not practice speaking. To train your mouth, you can start with simple sentences. For example, say I like apples, or I go to school every day. Speak slowly and clearly. At first, it may feel strange because your mouth is not used to the movements. This is normal. With practice, your mouth will move faster, and speaking will feel natural. One effective method is to speak to yourself in English. You can describe what you are doing during the day. For example, if you are cooking, you can say, I cut the vegetables. I cook rice. I open the water. This practice helps your brain and mouth work together. Your brain thinks in English, and your mouth learns to say the words naturally. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Another good idea is to find a friend or a partner to speak English with. Speaking with someone else is different from speaking alone. You need to respond quickly, ask questions, and understand the other person. Even if you make mistakes, it is okay. Speaking with a partner gives you real practice, and your brain learns to organize words faster. Over time, your mouth will also become more confident and clear. Besides speaking with a partner, reading aloud is another very helpful way to train your brain and mouth. Reading English books, short stories, or even simple news articles aloud every day can make a big difference. When you read aloud, your brain sees the words, and your mouth practices saying them. This exercise also helps you learn new words and phrases. You can start with easy texts and then move to longer or more difficult ones. Even reading one paragraph every day is useful. Try to read slowly and clearly. If you find difficult words, do not worry. Pause, repeat the word, and continue. This helps your brain remember the word, and your mouth will become used to saying it. Watching English movies or videos is another way to train your brain and mouth. First, watch with subtitles in your language. Try to understand the story and hear how the actors speak. Then, watch again with English subtitles. Listen carefully to the words and sentences. You can repeat what you hear. Try to copy the way the actors speak. Do not worry about having the same accent. The important thing is to train your mouth to move naturally and your brain to recognize words. Sometimes, pause the video and repeat sentences aloud. This method is called shadowing. It is very effective because your brain hears words and your mouth learns to say them at the same time. Another important tip is to use English in daily life. Try to speak simple sentences with yourself when doing normal tasks. For example, when shopping, you can say, "I need milk. I pay with cash." When cleaning your room, you can describe, "I put the books on the shelf. I open the window." These small exercises seem easy, but they train your brain to think in English and train your mouth to speak naturally. The more you do it, the faster you will improve. Writing can also help speaking. Write a short diary in English every day. Write about your day, your feelings, or simple stories. After writing, read it aloud. Speaking your own writing makes your mouth practice words you already know. Writing first also helps your brain organize sentences. Then, when you speak, it becomes easier to say complete sentences. Over time, writing and speaking together make your English much better. It is important to remember that mistakes are normal. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. Do not be afraid of them. When you speak, your brain and mouth learn at the same time. Mistakes help you understand what is correct and what you need to practice more. Be patient with yourself. Practice every day, even for a short time, is better than nothing. Finally, set small goals for practice. For example, you can decide to speak English for 5 minutes every day, or you can try to learn 5 new words and use them in sentences. Goals help you stay motivated and organized. Your brain will gradually remember more words, and your mouth will become faster and more natural. Another helpful way to train your brain and mouth is to listen and repeat simple English conversations. Many language learners find it difficult to start speaking because they do not know what to say. Listening to short conversations helps you learn useful sentences and questions. For example, you can listen to a conversation about shopping, greetings, or asking for directions. Then, try to repeat each sentence aloud. Repeat it several times until it feels natural. This method trains your brain to understand common phrases and trains your mouth to say them without thinking too much. Using flashcards is also a simple but effective method. Write a word on one side and its meaning on the other. You can also write a sentence using the word. Look at the word, say it aloud, and try to make a sentence with it. Flashcards are small and easy to carry, so you can practice anywhere, on the bus, in a park, or during a break at work. Your brain remembers words faster when you see and speak them at the same time. Your mouth becomes more comfortable saying new words. Another tip is to record yourself speaking in English. You can read a short paragraph, tell a story, or describe your day. Then, listen to your recording. You may hear mistakes, but this is useful. You can find words you need to practice more. Listening to your own voice also trains your brain to recognize correct and incorrect pronunciation. Recording helps your mouth because you repeat the same sentences many times. Over time, your brain and mouth will work together more smoothly. Learning English songs is a fun way to practice speaking. Sing along with the lyrics. Songs help your brain remember words because music makes learning more enjoyable. Try to sing clearly, not too fast. Even if you do not know all the words, listening and repeating helps your brain recognize sentence structures. Singing also trains your mouth to move naturally with English sounds. Over time, singing simple songs can improve your speaking rhythm and confidence. Talking to yourself in different situations is another effective method. Pretend you are in a restaurant, at a bus stop, or in a shop. Say sentences that you would use in real life. For example, I want a sandwich, or how much is this? Pretending helps your brain practice English in context. Your mouth also learns words and sentences that you can use in real situations. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to speak without thinking too much. It is also important to relax when speaking English. Many learners feel nervous or shy. When you are relaxed, your brain works better and your mouth moves more freely. Take deep breaths and speak slowly at first. Confidence grows with practice. Even if you speak slowly or make mistakes, your brain and mouth are learning. Over time, you will notice improvement in both understanding and speaking. Finally, consistency is the key. Practicing English every day, even for a few minutes, is more effective than practicing for a long time only once a week. Small daily practice trains your brain to think in English and your mouth to move naturally. Another method to train your brain and mouth is to use simple games in English. Games make learning fun and help you practice without feeling tired. For example, you can play word games like I Spy or 20 questions. In I Spy, you choose an object and say, I spy with my eyes something that is, then your partner guesses. Games like this help your brain think in English quickly. Your mouth also practices saying words clearly. Even short daily games can improve your English a lot over time. Using mobile apps or online tools can also help. Many apps have speaking exercises where you listen and repeat sentences. Some apps can even check your pronunciation. Practice a few minutes every day. Your brain will remember words, and your mouth will get used to speaking English. These apps are useful because you can practice anytime and anywhere. They make learning easy and interactive. Another helpful tip is to use questions and answers. Ask yourself simple questions like, what is your favorite food? Or where do you live? Then answer in English. Try to answer in full sentences. This exercise helps your brain think in English and trains your mouth to respond quickly. Over time, asking and answering questions will feel natural. You can also do this with a friend, taking turns asking and answering makes the practice more fun. Learning phrases instead of single words can also help. For example, instead of just learning go or eat, learn full sentences like I go to the park or I eat rice. Phrases are easier to use in real conversations. When your brain remembers phrases, your mouth can speak them quickly. Using phrases also helps you sound more natural when talking to others. Practicing with stories is another good method. You can make a short story and tell it in English. It does not have to be perfect. Start with simple sentences. I wake up. I eat breakfast. I go to school. After a few days, add more details. I see my friend. We talk and laugh. Telling stories trains your brain to organize words and sentences. Your mouth also practices speaking longer sentences, which helps in real conversations. Shadowing is an advanced but effective technique. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence and immediately repeat it aloud. You try to say it at the same speed as the speaker. This helps your brain recognize patterns in English, and your mouth learns to move naturally. You can use videos, audiobooks, or podcasts for shadowing. Start slowly and repeat each sentence several times. Your brain and mouth will improve together. It is very important to enjoy the process. If learning English feels like a burden, it will be harder to continue. Try to make speaking practice fun. Talk about your hobbies, watch favorite shows in English, or chat with friends. Enjoying practice makes your brain more active and your mouth more confident. Consistent, enjoyable practice is the key to improvement. Another way to train your brain and mouth is to use everyday objects around you. Look at things in your room, kitchen, or office and describe them in English. For example, say, the table is brown. The book is on the table. I open the window. This simple exercise helps your brain think in English and your mouth to say words naturally. Doing this every day makes a big difference over time. Using real-life situations is also very helpful. When you go to the market, try to speak English, even if just a little. You can say, I want 2 apples. How much is it? Using English in real situations trains your brain to react quickly. Your mouth practices words and sentences that are useful in daily life. Even small steps like this build confidence and improve your speaking skills. Group practice is another effective method. If you have friends or classmates who also want to learn English, form a small speaking group. You can play games, ask questions, or tell short stories. Speaking in a group is more challenging than speaking alone, but it is very effective. Your brain must understand quickly, and your mouth must respond clearly. Over time, group practice makes speaking more natural and confident. Listening and repeating tongue twisters can also be helpful. Tongue twisters are short sentences with difficult sounds. For example, she sells seashells by the seashore. At first, it may be difficult, but repeating tongue twisters trains your mouth muscles. Your brain also learns to focus on English sounds. Tongue twisters are fun and effective exercises to improve pronunciation and speaking speed. Using technology like voice assistants is another good way to practice. You can ask questions and give commands in English. For example, ask your device, "What is the weather today?" or "Set an alarm for 7 o'clock." This exercise is simple but effective. Your brain recognizes English questions, and your mouth practices speaking clearly. Doing this regularly helps you improve without needing another person. Practicing daily routines in English is also very useful. Describe your morning, afternoon, and evening in English. For example, I wake up at 6. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. I go to work. Then, try to add details. I drink coffee and read the news. I walk to the bus stop. This helps your brain organize sentences, and your mouth speak smoothly. Over time, describing daily routines becomes easier and faster. Another tip is to practice thinking and speaking in English at the same time. Don't stop to translate from your language. Start with simple sentences, even if they are short. For example, when you see a dog, say, "The dog is running. The dog is brown." The more you practice this, the faster your brain thinks in English, and your mouth says words automatically. Remember to celebrate small successes. Every day you speak a little English, your brain and mouth are learning. Enjoy and progress helps you stay motivated. Practice every day. Use simple methods, and your English speaking skills will improve gradually but surely. Finally, it is important to combine all the methods you have learned. You can start your day by thinking in English. Name objects, describe your actions, and speak simple sentences to yourself. This wakes up your brain and mouth for English practice. Then, you can listen to short stories, songs, or videos. Try to understand the words and repeat them aloud. This helps your brain recognize English and your mouth to speak naturally. During the day, use English whenever possible. Speak to friends, classmates, or even strangers if you have the chance. Small conversations, like greetings or asking for information, are very useful. Your brain will learn to react quickly, and your mouth will practice common sentences. Over time, these small exercises build confidence and improve fluency. Reading aloud is also helpful. Pick a short story, an article, or even a social media post in English. Read it clearly and slowly. Repeat difficult words and phrases. Your brain sees the sentences and learns their structure. Your mouth gets used to moving naturally with English sounds. This is a simple but very effective method to improve speaking. Writing in English is another way to train both brain and mouth. Keep a short diary or write sentences about your day. After writing, read it aloud. This connects your brain and mouth. Writing helps your brain organize thoughts in English, and reading aloud trains your mouth to speak the words fluently. Speaking in real-life situations is very important. For example, if you travel, try to order food, ask for directions, or talk to locals in English. These experiences are valuable because your brain needs to process information quickly, and your mouth practices speaking under real conditions. Even small efforts are helpful. Remember, mistakes are normal. Do not be afraid to make errors. Every mistake is a chance to learn. When you speak, your brain and mouth are learning together. Over time, you will notice improvement. Be patient, practice consistently, and enjoy learning. It is also helpful to set small goals. For example, speak in English for 5 or 10 minutes every day. Learn 5 new words and use them in sentences. Try 1 new conversation or story every week. Goals help you stay organized and motivated. They make progress easier to see and give your brain and mouth clear exercises. Finally, enjoy the process. Speak about your favorite topics, share your thoughts, or tell short stories. Use songs, videos, and games to make practice fun. The brain learns faster when it enjoys the activity, and the mouth becomes more comfortable speaking naturally. Consistent, enjoyable practice is the key to success. In conclusion, training your brain and mouth to speak English takes time, patience, and practice. Think in English. Listen every day. Speak aloud. Use phrases, write and read, and enjoy the process. Mistakes are part of learning. By practicing every day and combining different methods, your English speaking skills will improve naturally. With time, your brain will think in English and your mouth will speak confidently and fluently. Learning English is not only possible, it can also be enjoyable when you train both your brain and mouth together. Thank you all for listening to today's English article. Please do keep going, no matter what. Never stop learning. One day, you will see a completely different version of yourself.